Have you noticed it too? It feels like more and more people are, trading their screens for, well, green scenes.
Definitely. There's a real pull towards the outdoors.
Yeah, and that appeal, it's growing. And it's actually fueling some pretty surprising market shifts. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into one of those, the global camping and hiking tent market.
Sounds fascinating. It's a bigger industry than many might think.
Exactly. So
Hmm.
our mission here is really to cut through the noise, give you a quick, clear understanding of the big trends, the impressive numbers driving this industry.
Where the growth is, what it means.
Right, where it's concentrated, what it tells us about how people are spending their time, and, why it matters.
Okay.
And just so everyone's clear, all the market data, the insights we're talking about today, they come straight from cognitive market research.
Got it. Good to know the source.
Okay, so let's start with that big picture. Because the global market for these temps, it's seeing some really remarkable expansion.
Mm.
Back in 2021, it pulled in just over $4.6 billion in revenue.
Wow. Okay. $4.6 billion.
Yeah. And if we look just a few years ahead to 2025, that's projected to climb to nearly $5.9 billion.
So already a significant jump in just a few years.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting. By 2033, we're looking at an expected market size getting close to $9.6 billion.
Almost $10 billion. That's substantial.
It is, and that reflects a compound annual growth rate, the IAGR, of over 6.2%. That really shows consistent, pretty powerful expansion.
Well, what stands out immediately with those kinds of numbers is just how consistent that upward trend is.
Mm.
It's clearly not just a fleeting fad or something.
Right.
These figures, they suggest something deeper, maybe a longer-term shift in, consumer priorities, leisure activities happening globally.
People aren't just trying it out, they're investing.
Exactly. They're not just dabbling in the outdoors. It seems like they're making a more sustained investment in it, in the gear, in the time.
And that upward trend, like you said, it isn't just in one place. Let's maybe dig into where some of that growth is really taking hold. Europe, for instance, it's already a huge market, and it's showing really enduring strength.
A very established market there.
Yeah, it was valued at over $1.5 billion back in 2021, and it's projected to more than double, hitting nearly $3.2 billion by 2033.
More than double. Wow.
And what's striking is how widely spread that growth seems to be across the continent. You look at countries like Germany,
Yeah.
projected to more than double their revenue, too, from around $300 million to over $660 million.
Okay.
And the UK, France, they're also seeing really significant boosts. They're getting close to or even going over $400 million and $350 million, respectively.
It's fascinating because if you try and connect that to the bigger picture, Europe's growth, it makes sense, right?
How so?
With it's not just the numbers. It feels deeply tied to the varied landscapes they have, obviously, but also that really well-established tradition of outdoor culture.
Right, hiking, camping.
Exactly. Plus, you've got densely populated urban areas, which, naturally drives that desire to escape, to get out.
Yeah, think about family camping in Germany or hiking trails all over the Alps.
Precisely. And what's also intriguing in the data is the growth in the rest of Europe
Well,
category.
yeah, Spain and Sweden were strong too, both doubling, but that rest of Europe.
Right. That segment is also set to roughly double, from about $218 million to over $440 million.
So what does that suggest to you?
Well, often that points to a really broad expansion across maybe smaller, less obvious markets. Or perhaps it's a consolidation of niche interests that are starting to gain more mainstream appeal across various other European countries. It raises interesting questions.
That's a great point about that broader base. Okay, so if Europe represents that sort of steady, established strength,
Mm-hmm.
then Asia Pacific, well, that looks like the real dynamic growth engine for this market right now.
Okay, right. Let's talk about APAC.
We're talking about a leap from around 1.3, maybe $1.4 billion in 2021, all the way to over $3.1 billion projected by 2033.
Again, more than doubling. Huge growth.
Huge. So which countries are really, driving this massive expansion over there?
Well, no surprise, China is the absolute powerhouse.
Figured.
Yeah, it's projected to nearly triple its market.
Yeah.
From almost $400 million to over $920 million by 2033.
Wow, nearly $1 billion just in China.
Just in China. And India is also showing really remarkable growth, expected to go from just over $200 million to more than $500 million.
To also more than doubling.
Mm-hmm. And Japan and South Korea are strong contributors too, both showing significant expansion. Japan's heading towards $500 million. South Korea towards nearly $300 million.
So what are the implications of this really rapid expansion in APAC? What's behind it?
Well, it seems pretty directly linked to rising disposable incomes
Yeah,
across the region
makes sense.
and also the accelerating pace of urbanization. You get more people living in big cities like Shanghai or Mumbai becoming more affluent.
And they want to get out.
Exactly. They're actively seeking, digital detoxes or just different kinds of experiences outdoors as a sort of counterpoint to that intense urban life.
It's a lifestyle thing.
It really is. It's not just about buying a tent. It signifies a bigger lifestyle shift. And of course, that means global outdoor brands are paying close attention.
Right. They have to.
Yeah, they're increasingly focusing their product development, their marketing, specifically on these really diverse and rapidly evolving consumer bases in Asia.
Okay, so we've got established strength in Europe, dynamic growth in APAC. Where does North America fit into this picture? Is it more of maybe a consistent, steady market compared to the others?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. North America shows solid and consistent contribution.
Okay.
Its market is projected to grow from around $860 million in 2021 to over $1.6 billion by 2033. Still very strong growth.
Still nearly doubling over that period, and the U.S. is the main driver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The United States, as you'd expect, leads the charge, growing from about $680 million to over $1.2 billion. Canada and Mexico contribute too, of course.
So what keeps North America so strong and steady?
I think what's key for North America is its really deeply ingrained outdoor culture.
Right, the national parks.
Exactly. Supported by those vast national park systems, wilderness areas, and it's part of the identity for many people. So it's not necessarily a market seeing that kind of explosive, sudden growth like parts of APAC, but it's more about sustained demand. It's driven by generations who've kind of grown up with camping and hiking as just part of their leisure time.
A mature market, but still growing.
Precisely. It's a mature market that still finds new ways to grow, maybe through different types of gear, innovation, or appealing to new demographics within the continent.
Okay, interesting. So beyond these, let's call them the big three regions, the deep dive also points to some pretty significant growth in what we might call emerging markets.
Right. South America, Middle East, Africa.
Yeah. Collectively, these regions are also projected to more than double their market size by 2033.
Okay.
South America, for instance, is set to reach over $840 million. The Middle East, over $560 million. And Africa, over $280 million.
So it's still substantial markets developing there.
Definitely. Were there any particular standouts within those regions that caught your eye in the data?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at South America, Brazil alone is showing impressive growth. It's set to reach nearly $300 million.
Okay.
Then in the Middle East, you've got Saudi Arabia projected to hit almost $160 million, and the UAE over $100 million.
Interesting. Saudi Arabia and UAE.
Yeah. And down in Africa, South Africa is expected to exceed $110 million. So it's not just one or two countries. This expansion seems pretty widespread.
So what does that tell us?
Well, it really tells us that outdoor recreation is truly globalizing. It's not just a Western or developed nation phenomenon anymore.
Right.
And what this raises for me is an important question about how specific local factors are shaping these markets.
Like what?
Things like, is it the development of ecotourism? Is it increasing domestic leisure time, especially among growing middle classes in these countries? Or maybe even new infrastructure, roads and facilities, making natural areas more accessible than before.
Yeah. It's probably a mix.
It's almost certainly a complex mix. And that suggests, unique opportunities, but also unique challenges for brands looking to expand into these really diverse regions.
Okay. So let's try and pull this all together. What does this all mean for you, the listener? We've seen, a remarkably robust, widespread, and truly impressive growth, really, in the global camping and hiking tents market.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty clear.
From Europe's enduring strength to Asia-Pacific's really dynamic expansion and North America's consistent contribution alongside these emerging regions, the scale and that consistent upward trajectory across continents, it's just undeniable.
It's a strong signal.
It really is a clear signal that, the great outdoors seems more appealing than ever globally.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, isn't just the financial data, the billions of dollars.
Right, the story behind the numbers.
Exactly. It's what it fundamentally suggests about people's maybe increasing desire to connect with nature. Whether that's about seeking unique experiences or maybe escaping the constant digital hum of modern life.
Getting away from the screens we mentioned at the start.
Right, or maybe just finding some solace, some quiet in the outdoors. These numbers, they seem to reflect a deeper human need, perhaps, for reconnection, especially in our increasingly urbanized world.
So, just to sum up this deep dive then, we've really uncovered a surprisingly dynamic, rapidly expanding global market for camping and hiking dens.
Definitely dynamic.
Yeah, it paints a really compelling picture of how a growing, seemingly universal interest in outdoor recreation and exploration is actually reshaping entire industries.
It really does, and I guess that leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it?
Hang on.
Well, given this consistent global growth we're seeing in outdoor equipment, what fundamental human needs or maybe societal shifts do you think are truly driving this trend? And sort of building on the data we've looked at today, how might these underlying drivers continue to evolve? How might they keep shaping our leisure activities and, the industries that support them in the decades to come?
That's a great question to leave things on.
It's certainly a lot to ponder as we look towards the horizon.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're taking a deep dive into what might seem like, a bit of a niche corner of the economy, the camping and hiking tents market. But honestly, don't let that fool you. This sector is absolutely soaring. It's really being driven by our growing desire to just get outdoors, a real push towards health-conscious living, and yeah, that ever-present craving for a digital detox. So our mission today is to explore the key forces propelling it forward, the significant challenges holding it back, and also the exciting future trends that are truly reshaping the surprising industry. Essentially, we're giving you a shortcut to being well informed about a market that's far more dynamic than you might expect.
And that's exactly what makes this kind of deep dive so valuable, I think. Understanding the subtle shifts in the seemingly specific areas, like why we're all buying more tents, can actually reveal some profound insights into broader consumer behaviors and even major societal transformations. It's all interconnected, really. It tells a bigger story about what we value now.
Absolutely. So let's start with what's really pitching this market upward. It seems obvious, maybe, but the surge in outdoor recreational activities is just undeniable. More people are embracing nature, not just for fun, but for mental well-being, trying to get a better work-life balance, hiking, trekking, full-on camping, it's all on the rise. And what's fascinating is how much of this seems to be driven by millennials and Gen Z. They really seem to be leading the way, gravitating towards sustainable and meaningful experiences outdoors. Is this just a generational thing, or are we seeing something maybe more fundamental happening here?
That's a crucial question. And what's truly insightful, I believe, is how these lifestyle shifts aren't just about, choosing nature. They're fundamentally rerouting disposable income. We're seeing a kind of reallocation from traditional leisure spending, maybe high-end dining or shopping, towards experiences. Experiences that promise mental well-being and that digital detox we mentioned.
Right, redefining luxury, almost.
Exactly. It redefines luxury for a significant chunk of consumers, especially as we see rising tourism expenditure in emerging markets too. It means people are actually more willing to invest in high-quality, feature-rich outdoor gear now. We're not just talking basic shelters anymore. The demand is for things like rapid setup tents, UV protection, advanced waterproofing,
Yeah.
and even climate-controlled interiors sometimes.
Wow.
So, yes, it feels like a deep-seated shift, not just a passing trend. You've got urban middle-class travelers choosing nature getaways over city breaks more often, which directly boosts sales of these performance-based tents. Plus, you mentioned government support earlier. We're seeing that too. Governments from the U.S. all the way to India are actively promoting adventure tourism, promoting national park visits, which naturally boosts demand for all sorts of camping gear, tents included.
That makes perfect sense. If people are shifting how they spend their money, manufacturers have to deliver more, right? So beyond just more people heading outdoors, what's truly differentiating these products now? Is it more than just like better fabric?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. Manufacturers aren't just making better fabric anymore. They're kind of transforming the entire experience through product innovation and smart technology. We're seeing ultralight materials, which is great for hiking, modular designs, ergonomic designs that make setup, a breeze, and even what some are calling smart tents.
Smart tents, like how smart?
Well, imagine you pitch your tent, maybe plug in your phone, And it could potentially tell you the weather's about to turn without you even checking an app. We're seeing ones equipped with solar panels, USB ports for charging your devices, even
Yep.
weather adaptive features. For the tech-savvy adventurer, these aren't just cool perks. The sources we looked at suggest they're becoming essential for some people.
That's incredible. It sounds like all these drivers, these profound lifestyle changes, new economic priorities, all this groundbreaking innovation, it's collectively shaping a whole new era of outdoor gear. It really is about more than just shelter. It's becoming an integrated, personalized outdoor experience.
Precisely. It's a package deal now.
Okay, but despite all that momentum, there are definitely some hurdles. There have to be. What's holding this market back a bit? My first thought goes straight to the price tag. Premium tents, especially those loaded with smart features or, built for really extreme weather, they don't come cheap. Is that a significant roadblock for consumers, especially maybe in developing regions?
It absolutely is. That high price point is a major deterrent for cost-conscious consumers.
Mm.
So it's not just about what people can afford right now, but maybe about a growing expectation that premium outdoor experiences should be more accessible. It could potentially create a bit of a gap between that aspirational desire and the practical reality for a large segment of consumers. And let's not forget the ongoing maintenance needs, right? Repair costs. That can also be a deterrent.
Yeah, good point.
And what's truly insightful here is how these cost factors kind of intertwine with another major restraint, weather-related unpredictability.
Right, because camping is inherently weather sensitive. I mean, you plan a trip, spend the money, and then sudden storm rolls in or a crazy heat wave hits, and boom, plans canceled. How does that impact the market overall?
Exactly. A sudden harsh rain, an unexpected storm, even a heat wave can cancel plans in a heartbeat. This doesn't just disappoint the campers, it results in highly seasonal demand. That's the key business issue. It really limits year-round sales potential, especially in areas prone to extreme weather, which directly impacts profitability for manufacturers or retailers alike. They just can't rely on consistent demand month after month.
But it's not just the weather playing spoilsport, is it? I mean, for a lot of urban consumers, maybe the couch and a gaming console or a nice spa weekend. It just seems so much easier. You don't have to wrestle with tent poles or worry about sleeping bags, right?
Exactly. It's the ultimate convenience versus commitment challenge, isn't it? Why brave the elements potentially when you can have a climate-controlled, ready-made escape indoors? It really highlights the battle for our leisure time, especially where access to easy outdoor adventures might be limited.
True.
Urban consumers have just an endless menu of indoor entertainment choices. Think gaming lounges, cozy staycations, spa retreats. These options often require far less effort, let's be honest.
No sleeping bags required, yeah.
Right. And plus, you sometimes have restrictions on camping zones, especially near urban areas, that can really reduce the appeal of a spontaneous weekend outdoor getaway. It does raise an important question about how these restraints reflect broader shifts in consumer preferences and maybe even urban planning challenges.
Okay, let's shift gears though. Let's talk about the forward-looking, the good stuff, the trends reshaping this market. First up, sustainability. It feels huge everywhere, and it's definitely here too. Today's consumers are really prioritizing eco-friendly tent materials, and brands are absolutely responding. What are some of the ways we're seeing that play out?
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, sustainability isn't just, a buzzword anymore. It's becoming a really key market differentiator
Mm.
and a powerful loyalty builder. We're seeing recyclable materials, biodegradable options, ethically sourced fabrics. Tents are coming with eco-certifications, non-toxic finishes. And the companies themselves are embracing green practices, from manufacturing all the way to plastic-free packaging. Brands doing that are earning serious loyalty from environmentally conscious buyers. It's moving from nice to have to basically a must-have for many.
And speaking of differentiating glamping, glamorous camping that's really gone mainstream, hasn't it? It seems like it's transforming the whole outdoor experience into almost a luxury affair, creating a whole new customer segment.
It absolutely is. Glamping is definitely broadening the appeal of the outdoors. It's reaching people who might never have considered traditional camping before. We're talking high-end tents, often semi-permanent, with things like built-in lighting, proper attached bathrooms.
Wow, bathrooms.
Yeah, and even air conditioning in some cases.
Okay, that's definitely glamorous.
Right. And this isn't just for individual buyers anymore. Resorts and travel operators are investing heavily in these premium tents. They're catering to upscale adventure seekers, creating a whole new B2B customer segment, actually.
Yeah.
It just shows a fascinating evolution in what consumers are defining as an outdoor experience.
Okay, and finally, we have to talk about the digital transformation of sales. It seems like online platforms, social media, influencers, they're just as important as the physical tent store now, maybe more so.
Oh, without a doubt. The rise of e-commerce and digital marketing means platforms like Amazon, Decathlon, but also niche outdoor gear sites. They're now primary sales hubs. And this shift really empowers consumers with more information than ever before. Think about online reviews, influencer recommendations, travel bloggers. They have a massive impact on buying decisions.
Yeah, definitely.
If a specific tent pops up in your favorite YouTuber's latest camping video, well, it's probably headed straight to a lot of online shopping carts right after. All these evolving dynamics, the tech, the eco-focus, the digital sales, they're truly redefining the tent market, making it high-tech, eco-conscious, and totally adventure-ready.
So what does this all mean for us? Let's try and recap this deep dive. The camping and hiking tents market is, well, undeniably thriving. It's powered by our collective move towards health-conscious living, loads of smart innovation, and that new age need for escape. But it's also profoundly shaped by things like weather uncertainties, issues of affordability, and definitely the competition from easy indoor entertainment. We're seeing key shifts. Sustainability driving material choices, glamping, offering this luxurious outdoor experience, and digital-first sales becoming the absolute norm. It feels like this market is truly pitching a new kind of tent, so to speak. Understanding these dynamics gives such a deeper insight, not just into the outdoor industry, but into broader consumer trends, too.
And this raises, I think, an important question to ponder. As these outdoor experiences become increasingly personalized, more tech-integrated, and with glamping offering, a softer entry into nature, will the traditional roughing it aspect of camping become more of a niche? Or will these new trends actually broaden the appeal of the outdoors for an entirely new generation? Something to think about.
That is a fascinating thought to leave everyone with. Thanks for exploring all this with us today. Stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep exploring.